Hello, good evening everyone. I am so glad to be here once again. I have presented in the last video the three arguments based on the phrase Lord the Son in Matthew chapter 24 verse 36. Today in this video I am going to discuss the ending part for those arguments. Before coming to that ending part, let me remind you once again of those three arguments. Argument number 1. Jesus spoke in terms of his human nature. Argument number 2. Jesus restricted the use of certain divine attribute. And argument number 3. The exclusion and inclusion of the phrase Lord the Son. These three arguments are strong enough as we have discussed in the last video. So you can't take one and reject another. Therefore, the conclusion on this study is, when Jesus pronounced the phrase "Now the Son" in Matthew 24 verse 36, he means humanly he ignored to know the time of his return. He ignored in the sense he doesn't want to know though he was able. As a result, he restricted the certain divine attribute to be functioned. But he displayed it also in a number of places. For example, Luke chapter 19 verses 4 and 5. It says, "So he ran on ahead and climbed up into a sycamore tree to see him. And when Jesus came to the place, he looked up and said to him, 'Zacchaeus, hurry and come down.'" And John chapter 1 verse 48 says, "Nathanael said to him, 'How do you know me?' Jesus answered him, 'Before Philip called you, when you were under the fig tree, I saw you.'" These are the places Jesus displayed the certain attribute well in his earthly ministry. Moreover, when Matthew wrote his gospel to the Jews, he purposefully omitted this phrase in chapter 24 verse 36. So that it should be questioned on the Jews of Jesus' deity, since they believed him not as the Son of God. But later on, this phrase was inserted in Matthew by scribes by matching with Mark Gospel. Mark inserted this phrase in his Gospel in chapter 13 verse 32. The reason is to show that Jesus had reliance on his human knowledge while he was living on earth. So, either inserting or omitting a phrase in manuscripts was common in those days. We can't judge. Such a thing was occurring among the scribes until the New Testament canonicity was closed.